Okay, so when we last left off with you,
Okay.
you were in Rotford trying to deal with the plague, and had discovered that it was some sort of curse or affliction causing the villagers to head up into the village. You were able to retrieve some food and supplies for the survivors staying at the vineyard, and gathered at least a handful of pieces of equipment from town,
Yes.
some things like that, and some healing draughts. Um, what would you like to do at this point?
Oh, 'cause I can't remember
Giselle
what
has
equipment you
has
have,
established
so
a whole new level of self will.
I
What
forget.
equipment I have?
Yeah, I don't know whether or not I gave you healing drops or not.
Okay.
I have 4 of them, so.
Healing in the game
Where do
is
I find that?
fairly limited. You have healing draughts, which are weird concoctions of random things that are like healing potions, and you have poultices, which are combinations of cow dung, urine, and other nasty things that you put on as band aids. Or you have cauterize.
And that's just about it.
That's about it. You can do first aid. It gives some minimal benefits. You'll find physical combat, you tend to take a lot of damage real quick, and it doesn't heal too fast. The warrior has had a broken arm for 2 sessions thus far.
Where do you find the equipment?
It's in trappings.
On the
Trappings,
second
and there
page
should be
on the
like
left hand
a
side.
big list of
No,
stuff.
I don't.
You probably
see
never gave her
with-
anything.
I don't see any.
Should be.
Clothing,
yeah.
dagger pouch, sling bag, riding kit, a parchment, staff, halberd, leathers, plague mask, 3 days worth of herbs.
Okay.
Okay? So, yeah, he didn't give you anything else.
I'll give you 2 healing drops.
His job for Giselle thus
What
far
are they
has
called?
been carrying a
Healing
notebook
drops.
and taking notes on all his adventures. And then when they return to town, he sells those notes to the college for profit.
No, it was not from profit. All they gave me papers last time.
Okay.
It was reputation.
Well, that's profit.
Yeah. And you have the halberd. Trying to think.
What's a
of-
halberd?
It's a big. It's a big
That's a
stick.
10-foot pole with an axe at the end.
Okay.
That we're trained in.
Yeah. Wizards are trained in pole arms with the intent that it staffs, but it happens to coincide with pole arms and spears and everything else.
Well, it's because we're supposed to be riding on a horse.
Well, yes, but unlike Pathfinder and D&D, and Lord of the Rings type stuff, Warhammer is much more of everybody fights. Everybody's on the front line type stuff. So wizards are quite capable of fighting in hand to hand. They're very skilled as far as it. They don't have the armor, and they don't necessarily have the toughness to take a lot of hits, but they can swing a sword just like everybody else. In this case, a halberd.
Yes. And it's reach too. So
It does.
It's like, but you took away all the other good benefits it had.
Yes.
Anyway, so I think we grabbed the supplies. Did they have paper? by
Yes,
any
you had
chance?
gotten paper.
Okay.
You had scrounged up 20 pieces of paper.
Oh, 20 more pieces, or?
No, that's what you had written down at the time.
Oh yeah, because that was the total I had.
Yeah,
Okay.
paper's rare, which is why he keeps gathering it everywhere he goes.
it's a silver per sheet.
Is it parchment?
Yeah,
Yeah.
parchment.
Okay.
Yeah, we have the pricing over there on the left wall there, as far as at the bottom right, that exchange rate, gold, silver, and bronze. Each character has rated as far as their class level. Okay.
Brass
And-
2 or 3.
Yeah, a basic wizard's apprentice is, I believe, brass 3, which means it takes 3 pennies for you to survive for the week. You're not eating well, and your food or your clothes aren't very good because you're at the brass level of society. Silver is like the merchants and the shopkeepers and the normal citizens. Gold is the nobility or the well-to-do people. Okay, Thad started off brass 1. Most of the group is in the silver level at this point based on their career.
If you don't die, I'm going to gold. So don't die.
Eventually he goes to gold level. The problem is he has to spend that
Yeah.
on a weekly basis to maintain it. If he doesn't spend that as far as going to an inn and buying the good food and buying the good clothing and everything, he goes down. And given the feudal society, a noble person could care less what somebody who's silver or brass thinks. I mean, to the point that they don't care what the silver person thinks. If a brass person talks to them, they can get themselves arrested.
Oh.
Okay, because you're talking a completely different station. It's like the beggar going up and talking to the crown prince. It just isn't done. And the militia and the guards heavily reinforce that because that's what the society calls for. So it hasn't made a huge impact. It did originally when people were dirt poor and couldn't get anything.
Yeah.
Nowadays, at this point, they've really sort of adapted some. They're more mainstream. So
And we look fancier than we actually talk. Because
definitely, then you guys talk.
Yeah.
Because they're not talking all that great, but so okay. What do you want to do?
What time of day is it? Is it morning?
It was after you had gotten the supplies and everything. Was evening,
Evening. Okay. How
late
many-
afternoon. I mean, you could probably go into the follow the river for a bit, but according to the priest, the healer, he said it's about a 2 days walk to the source of the river if that's where you're going. He doesn't have any indication otherwise.
Do you when is that boat person coming back?
The boat person left here.
Jerry.
Jake had left I believe it was the previous day.
Okay.
It was 2 days travel down to Auerswald, and then he said it was a day there to trade cargo, reload the boat, etc., and then 2 days back up to here where he expected to pick you up.
Okay, so we have 4 days.
You have a total of 5 days round trip. You've burned one, so this is day 2 of that.
Okay. So we should probably go now because that's our only way of transport back up the river, except from walking and trying to cross the river.
Right, and generally speaking, the Empire is fairly wild forest and very dangerous. It's considered very unsafe to travel anywhere other than by coach or by boat because there's bandits, there's goblins, there's wolves, there's all sorts of things just waiting to jump you in the dark. Think German Black Forest type feeling. There's all sorts of things. And the group has been attacked a few times when they've just been out on the road. That's part of the reason why you pay a lot for a coach going between cities, because it's safe. Or you ride on a boat that has natural protection from the river. So his concern is that 2 days back up the river is going to be more like 3 or 4 back to the town through wild forest, which is not great.
Yeah. But we needed to get some wine on our way out, though, because that's what the boat person wanted, even though it's probably corrupted. So we'll probably head up there now.
You want to head tonight? Or
I
this
think-
afternoon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
And you got a couple of hours of light to head up
Yeah.
the river.
yeah, we fill up like the water skin, get some food for the week. Food rations.
Okay, yeah, you grab a week's worth of rations, not a problem.
Okay, because I did burn mine on the citizens.
Uh-huh.
And then,
Really, guys, is this going to continue all evening?
can you think of something that we need up in Go North?
No.
No. Okay.
Water and food. That's That's all I know.
You're the expert.
I have rope.
Basically, the river comes out of the hills to the west are rolling grassland type hills. Not very rough terrain or anything like that. There's scattered forests here and there, but generally fairly calm terrain. This particular region is well known for the wineries and the produce from that in this area.
Okay.
That's what its claim to fame is.
Is there like any rowboats on the dock?
No.
No. Okay. I was trying to.
Matter of fact, there's no boats at the docks.
Trying to think, it's like, well, if we miss the thing, we can rowboat our way up north.
Maybe.
Okay. Yeah, probably just head now. I can't think of anything else that we need. I have empty vials for any things we get.
Okay. I'm not exactly sure what you're planning to find, but
I
sure.
don't know.
Okay.
That's why we're exploring.
Okay. So you guys head west along the river.
Yep.
Okay. Are you planning to follow the river itself, or are you going somewhere else?
When did he say they broke off from the river?
He didn't.
Okay.
He never followed anybody up the river. They followed the river up the ways, and there's a trail that follows the river, but there's fields of wines and fields of grapes.
I would like to follow the river.
Okay.
And as we're following the river, I want to look for disturbances of the forest, like a huge mob of people travel through,
Okay.
and then follow that path.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a perception roll for both of you.
Would it be outdoor survival?
I could go with that.
There you go. It's
Okay.
much better because it's intelligence based.
Where's that at?
It's.
I don't have any.
Yeah, it's gonna be an intelligence modifier. So it would be this. So
Whatever the highest number listed there.
So 46.
Okay.
Current.
So
Like,
46,
yeah.
and then at the bottom, if you have any outdoor survival training,
No.
you'll have a bonus there.
I don't.
Okay. So
So
he
it's
hasn't taught you any of that yet.
Wizards don't get that.
Okay, you had it.
I have intelligence. That's the
Okay.
only reason.
So you just roll percentile and add your bonus and tell me what your total is.
So 56 plus 46.
Mhm.
102.
Uh huh.
I got like a 68.
Okay. So you instructed Zell to look for any tracks or anything. You guys head up. There are no sign of any disturbances in the forest as such. The main thing you note is heading up the river. In a couple of places where there's just sort of a natural eddy with the river itself, there's a foul smell of rotting fish, and maybe a dozen or more fish floating in the water. Wherever there's like a natural curve that sort of leaves a pool or whatever on the side, they seem to have drifted into there where they're dead.
Is it like foaming? Are they like foamed up in the mouth or something, or are they just dead?
They are definitely dead. There's no visible sign beyond that.
Like they got caught in the divot in like a trap.
It looks more like they died and their bodies drifted into it, and they just collected there.
Oh yeah.
Versus the
Okay.
regular river just carrying them down the stream. I mean, Empire rivers aren't really known for their cleanliness, anyways. So dead fish isn't that unusual, but a collection of them or a number of them would be bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't speak to dead fish.
You can't speak to dead fish. You haven't learned that.
Nope.
She does have animal friend.
Yeah.
They're dead.
They are. Also, for the afternoon, as you guys have been traveling, there has been no sign of other animals, birds or other creatures and so forth. The forest is effectively quiet, other than you guys moving through it. With the river.
That's strange.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Several hours out, you reach the edge of the vineyards. The river continues up into the foothills. At this point, it's getting dark.
Okay.
Do you want to continue on through the evening?
No, once probably striking dark, we'll probably like make camp.
Okay. And anything special about camp?
Is there a homestead shack or something in the vineyards?
No,
No.
not this far out.
Okay.
Do we have stuff for making a tent or a?
I have a fine Tillian
Lean-to?
bedroll. But other than that, no.
You got a couple of bedrolls.
We have bedrolls, and that's about it.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
probably.
If it matters, give me another outdoor survival roll.
Okay. More dead fish at the river. This time they're moving.
Or zombie fish.
Yep.
112.
112.
Yeah, I failed this again.
122 actually.
I got like 180, 193 or something.
You got a 193.
No, 93. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
okay. I was gonna say that's not a failure.
Yeah.
You get your sense is that it feels like rain coming, which is relatively common in the Empire. And in the distance, off to the east, you can hear a loud rumble of thunder with dark rain clouds on the horizon.
Is there a cave or?
You want to sleep in a cave?
I don't know. I don't want to sleep in the rain.
There was a homestead or house, maybe a mile or two back, that you passed. That was about the only sign of settlement out in this area.
Probably go there.
Or you can continue on, or try to take shelter in the trees.
Probably go to that homestead.
Okay. So you guys hasten back towards the homestead. It's just a small thatch hut, basically just 2 rooms. About halfway there, the rain starts, and by the time you guys get there, you're thoroughly soaked. Heavy downpour coming down, lots of lightning and so forth, cracking across the area. The homestead is empty. I mean, it looks like it has been lived in, but not for some time. The fire's completely out. All the stuff looks fine. It looks like nobody's lived here in at least a couple of months.
Okay.
Is there any firewood
Yes.
in there?
Yes.
Can we start a fire? Do we have means to start a fire? Do
I
we
have
have
matches.
anything?
Well,
Woo,
he
you got
is a
matches.
fire mage also.
Yeah.
But matches is probably safer.
Yeah.
So okay, yeah, you guys get a fire going and start to warm up. Outside, the storm is coming down. You guys, what? Just gonna get some sleep for the night?
Is there windows?
There is a couple of windows with a flap of cloth over them, keeping the lightning out for the most part. Doesn't do much as far as the sound of the thunder, but the place seems dry.
Any way to bar the doors or?
It's
Well, if there's windows, not
I
much.
can't
than
see in the
bar.
windows.
I mean, you could probably put the old table in front of the door and block it, but the door itself isn't super sturdy, so it wouldn't hold up for much anyways.
Okay.
Okay. So you guys pile some stuff in front of the door to block it,
Yeah.
ignoring the open windows and so forth. And then, just get some sleep for the night?
Is there some way we can like block the windows? Like what's in the homestead?
Table, couple chairs, couple cots.
Any wood boards?
No, there's no wood boards or anything like that.
How-
It looks more like a place where somebody would sleep or stay typically in the warmer months. It doesn't really look like it's winter set. Okay.
okay. Is how many windows are there?
3,
3. How many chairs are there?
2.
What we can do is we can put 2 of the chairs in the actual window, have it like sticking out of the window, so that if something tries to get in, it has to make noise. And then for the last one, we could put one of the cots, like in the
Stand
window.
the cot up
In the
against
window?
window?
We just throw everything out the window. Okay. So you work together to put some chairs in the windows, I guess, jam it in there. And then anybody going to keep watch, or you guys just going to get some sleep for the night?
So we need 8 hours, correct?
Need a full night's rest.
Really don't want to burn 16 hours. Could we like do?
You can take you could probably trade off and go like 12 hours.
That would be noon, and we would leave.
No, it's maybe 10 o'clock at this point.
Okay.
So 10 a.m. or so. I mean,
Yeah.
you guys can. Games typically say 8 hours of sleep. The idea is you need a night's rest. So plus or minus a couple of hours, because if somebody's keeping watch, isn't a big deal.
Okay.
Okay. We normally just gloss over it because the day assumes 8 hours of travel, 8 hours of sleep, 8 hours of miscellaneous, be it breaks, lunch, breakfast, preparations, etc. So a lot of that can overlap and cover the watches. I'm not too worried about that.
Okay. So we do the 12 hours because we're wizards and we're lazy.
Okay.
So
Okay.
sleep until 10.
So is somebody going to keep watch then?
Yeah, we'll take turns.
Yeah.
Who's going to keep first watch?
I will.
Okay.
Okay. She volunteered. Okay. Give me a perception roll.
Is that perception plus
It's going
intelligent?
initiative. It'll be the eye.
Just the eye?
Yeah.
Well, plus your skill for
Plus
perception.
Right. So 67 plus 30 is 97.
Okay. Sometime around midnight, the storm is raging hard outside. Lots of thunder coming down. You hear what sounds like a rhythmic squishing sound, like something maybe stepping in mud or something like that.
I don't know what your name is. Sir! Sir! Wake up!
Okay.
Erdem is his character's name.
Yeah.
Erdem.
Okay.
Do I hear it too, or
When you pause to listen, yeah,
how far away does it sound?
it sounds like over by the river. From last night, it's maybe 20 yards away.
Is our fire still blazing in there?
It's not blazing. It is It's smoldered down, just because there wasn't any reason to have it really roasting.
Is
but
there a window facing that direction?
sure,
Is there a chair in that window
there is a chair in that window.
so we can see out the
We can
window?
peek out the window.
Sure.
Sure, I would like to peek out the window.
Okay. You take a look out towards the river. At first, you don't really see much, and then there's a crash of lightning, and you see something that looks sort of like a massive haystack
Oh,
standing by the river. And as the momentary light starts to fade, you realize it's less of a haystack and more of a really large creature of some form, slowly walking along the riverbank.
Towards us?
Not currently, but when you look out, it sort of pauses, and it looks like it shifts in your direction and looks towards the hut. You see what looks like 2 pinpricks of green where its face probably would be,
okay.
looking in your direction.
Keep still. See if it
Can I
doesn't see
smother
us.
the fire so the fire goes out?
Yeah, how you want to do that?
We have water skins if we want to use that.
Yeah.
Okay, you quickly douse it with some water.
Mhm.
Okay, makes a lot of hissing sounds and a bunch of steam billows up the chimney and everything. Okay,
I want to watch it.
okay. The lightning flashes and moves on, and then after another minute or two, with another flash of light, there's no sign of the creature. It's too far out into the dark to be able to see with
How
your
far
human
away was
vision. It was at the riverbank, which is about 50 yards away.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I said about 20 or 30 yards was the riverbank.
Now it's getting, the river's getting closer.
It's getting closer. The river is approaching. Now the river's 10 yards.
Well, it is raining hard.
Um. Uh. I guess let's stay up for an hour or two and see if something happens and be on guard.
Okay. You guys sit there anxiously listening to the thunderstorm and so forth. Another hour goes by. Every so often you get the sense that there's a noise outside, but you're not sure whether that's the wind, the storm, or whatever the creature was. You're just more spooky noises for you guys. After about an hour or so, the storm feels like it's starting to move on. It's getting a little bit lesser each time, but there's no activity otherwise.
And the creature is in the river, correct?
It was at the riverbank.
River bank, so not in the river.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. And then probably do the sleeping watches again.
Okay.
Is it about the time for me to do the watches?
Sure.
Okay.
You guys get some. You guys alternate, get some sleep for the night. Rest of the night passes uneventfully. By morning, you're chilled and cold from the wet and the lack of fire. The sun comes back out. Looks like another pleasant day. No sign of the creature for looking out the window.
Okay. Not looking back at us.
No, it's not staring out the window looking at you, wondering why there's a chair in the window.
How far was it
From the hut,
from where we
about
were
20
to,
yards.
So, you want to go look over there?
I guess we can because it probably moved on, but
I just wonder with the animals missing and the dead fish and stuff like that, if there was
yeah,
what he was out there doing.
and
'Cause
probably even the dead fish. That's what I would think. Yeah, we can check it out.
Okay. You go out to where you think you saw the creature. It's just the riverbank. Like I said, there's vineyards nearby, but you're in a cleared area by the river. You start looking around. Give me a outdoor survival roll again. Or better said, Giselle, give me one.
Right, yeah, I rolled a 7, so I'm useless at nature.
129.
It's a good thing she's here to actually buy things. I'm a wizard, not a hunter. He pokes around, fairly certain this is exactly where he saw the creature. Can't find a single bit of anything. And you say, "Are you sure it wasn't over here?" And you point out what looks like a large depression in the mud, in the soft soil of the river itself. It is covered over with water, so it's been partially washed away. But it looks like a three-toed footprint, maybe a good 2 feet long, about a foot or two wide.
Do I see more going any direction?
There's some sign going a little bit further down in the direction of the village, but it fades out pretty quickly.
Okay. Let's not go that way.
Well, good thing we're going the opposite direction.
Right.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so you guys are going to keep going then?
Yeah. Good
Okay.
thing we didn't go to a cave.
Oh,
I don't know. Maybe he doesn't live in a cave.
that's right.
He seems to like the water.
Okay.
I was originally thinking we'd just like sleep by the water, but
That would have been bad.
That could have been fun.
find a troll.
Okay, so you guys head up further up the river?
Yeah.
Okay. Most of the rest of the day is fairly uneventful. You get the constant sensation that you're being watched, but there's no sign of any animals or any creatures or any people in the area. It's just sort of this nagging, hairs on the back of your head sort of feeling. Later in the afternoon, the terrain, the river has climbed up into the hills and everything. You're going over the different hills. You don't have much visibility, although in the distance you could still see the landscape and everything. You come over a rise, and ahead of you there's a section of forest that the river comes out of between the hills, and it looks like the forest is very brightly colored. Okay, instead of all greens from the deciduous forest and the pine trees and everything, there's purple, there's pinks, there's blues, things like that. Yeah, probably. All sorts of different colors. On the outskirts, it's fairly minor, but you can see where the river continues in, it gets more notable as you go further in.
Do we still feel like we're being watched?
Yes.
Could I go to the closest bush and yell at it and see if I scare something in the bush?
You sure could.
I would like to.
Okay.
It's an intimidation check.
Okay, he stops momentarily and quickly jumps at the nearest bush and yells at it. Sure, give me an intimidation roll.
Because I actually want to use it because I have training in it.
Apparently he's gone crazy.
Nope, I can't even roll anything.
You fail to successfully intimidate anything out of the bush.
Okay.
Neither the bush reacts or anything else.
Okay.
Okay? It's a weird tactic. Okay?
Maybe there's something in there.
There might have been.
Yeah.
The bush cowers.
So it's turning. The winds of magic. Does it seem like it seems to be funneling into that area?
Feels more like it's funneling out.
Out. Okay.
There does seem to be a concentration around the river, flowing in the direction of the river.
Like going into the river and then following the river, or
More of flowing along with it.
okay.
So he has an ability called Arcane Sight.
Second sight.
Second Sight. I don't know if you have it or not. It's a talent that,
He might.
due to his wizard training, he can visualize and see the flow of magic, which is sort of like a minor detect magic sort of thing. Okay, it gives him ideas as far as where there might be concentrations of magic or influences from magic that wizards typically learn as part of their training and so forth. So
Okay. Like
he
which,
hasn't taught you how to do that yet.
there's only so much experience in the game. She has training in like almost every skill she could get.
That's right.
Almost now.
Yeah,
So,
your skills have been focused, not your talents.
is the winds of magic going back towards the town, or is it going?
It's flowing along the river, and the river certainly goes back towards the town.
Okay.
The river comes out of the forest, out of the foothills, into the village itself.
Can I discern what type of
No.
magic it is?
No.
Okay. I guess we go into the colorful forest. That's what I think.
Okay.
Probably is where everyone went.
Probably. Okay.
But try to be stealthy, maybe.
Okay. What's your stealth abilities?
Yeah.
That good?
I have to look for it.
I don't know. What is it in the characteristic?
Yeah, it's the last one, stealth. I have a 47.
Okay.
Which one? The
The very last one.
Right here?
No, at the bottom there.
right, but does it have anything up here?
It's probably
'Cause I'm not
agility
trained in
based.
It's agility.
Okay.
It shows the letter under the characteristics, so that like
Oh,
AG.
look at that.
There you go. I told you the character. I told you the character sheet you wouldn't follow very quickly. Takes some getting used to.
Okay, makes sense now. Got it.
Okay.
It's agility based.
So you're gonna head your way in.
Yeah.
Okay. So, inside the forest is, I would say, colorful from the sunlight filtering down. Like I said, the further you go in, the more colorful the forest gets, and you do see signs of footprints along the riverbank heading in.
Like the
Okay.
ones we saw before.
Not those signs, like boot prints,
Oh, okay.
like from villagers.
Does
and so
does
forth.
the tree wood look different other than being colored, like a
Um,
different material?
No,
Or-
there are signs that the trees have been changed in some form, but it's very minimal at this point. It further in, it seems to get more dominant.
Okay. Is there like increased foliage, or is it the same type of foliage but colored? Like
Same foliage but colored.
Okay.
If anything, I mean, you're not really an outdoorsman. It looks like a really nice forest, other than the unusual colors.
Okay.
Okay,
We're in Oz.
that's right. There's a yellow brick road. Okay. So after a bit, the trail of footprints heads off to the side,
Okay.
leaves the river. The river continues on through some gullies and stone, and like there's the path goes up to the side. The river continues forward, but there doesn't look like a way to walk that way.
So probably follow the footprints.
The river is not huge at this point. It's fairly small, close to the spring. You could wade through it if you wanted to, or swim, or you could take the path.
Wizards don't swim.
They don't?
No.
The
That
rules
is
are
a, that
paper.
is the thing. We don't know how to swim.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's a skill.
He said
people
it was
also don't.
wading water.
Well, yes, I know, but
You could. Andy has nearly drowned a couple of times now. in the game.
Wading in water?
Not wading in the water. He got knocked off their boat once, and doesn't know how to swim,
Oh.
wearing heavy armor.
Oh, that's not good.
No. The only one of their entire group that knows how to swim is the sailor, and that's because he specifically selected that ability. Even sailors don't know how to swim.
Wow.
So the common ability is pretty unusual. So
Yeah.
okay,
I'm
you
just
guys.
saying, if we go in there and there's a big pool of water, don't think you can just swim your way out of it. It's not that easy.
Gotcha.
Okay, you guys keep going, following the footprints, and it leads up into what looks like a. You hear squeaking in the distance for strange animals.
You said there was no animal.
And there you go. There's animals now.
Well, he's not. He's not really an animal. He's just a creature. There is. It leads into a glade, which is unusual because there's several large clusters of what looks like mushrooms. Not normal-sized mushrooms, more like halfling-sized mushrooms. Okay, growing out of the ground in different spots, all of which seem to have slightly different colors. And where the sun passes over through the trees, the glade and the ground almost takes on different colors based on the position of the sun and the reflections and things like that. The trail leads straight towards the nearest cluster of mushrooms, and then past it out the other side of the glade.
Is it just vegetation that's colored, or is like there's rocks that are colored?
The rocks aren't colored as such. The vegetation is. The light reflections are, overlaying everything. So there are rocks that look different colored based on where the light happens to be at the time.
Okay.
But no, the rocks, as far as you can tell, are normal. I don't know if you have any geology skill.
No.
Okay.
Could we possibly think of what type of mushrooms these are?
Would your sight or your second sense or whatever tell if they were magic mushrooms?
Yeah, are they magic mushrooms?
They don't appear to be.
Okay.
They don't have any particular influence on the winds. The winds here of magic seem to almost be mimicking the natural breezes in the forest.
Okay.
Okay, if that makes any sense. I.e., they're shifting nearly constantly. There's not a steady flow in a certain direction
It's
or anything.
chaotic.
Yeah.
Do we have any way to tell if they're poisonous mushrooms? Like,
I
we
don't
don't
know.
want to walk past them or through them.
You could taste
The
them.
footprints go through them, but we don't know if they survived going through them.
Is there a way around the mushrooms? Like,
You could go through the thick forest.
if I look like at some bushes on the path, are they have thorns?
Are you gonna intimidate the bushes?
I could yell at the bushes.
They
to get
scratch
out of the
at
way.
you.
That is the thing. I can yell at the mushrooms. Maybe they move. They could be intelligent mushrooms.
They could.
You get sound.
I do. Although technically we don't have any birds. So
Yeah, that's what I was
discount
thinking.
the-
It's like,
discount-
this is a bird
discount,
sound.
discount the bird sounds.
So discount all the sound.
Discount the bird sound.
So would outdoor survival tell us whether they were poisonous or not?
Maybe.
Did it load yet?
There's my character, but I don't have any vision.
Oh, I guess that's a part of. Okay, let's change that to. That's this new app of this makes it very confusing. There we go. Yeah.
Whoa.
There you go.
It's 3D also.
Nice. It's pretty.
It is.
Oh look, it even shows the wind blowing through the trees.
So is the whole field there mushrooms? Or
No, those clusters in the center, around the field, are mushrooms.
It's disorienting. The whole thing color changes color.
It does, like I said. It
Yeah.
the light, as the light comes in, the whole thing seems to change color.
Does it seem like like the dark parts of the forest? Does it seem like it's non-colored? Like not colored at all?
It's darker,
Okay.
but the trees themselves seem to be colorful.
Okay. So probably walk in the clearing away from the mushrooms and just go around and see if the trail continues past the mushrooms.
You want to cut your way through the forest. Like I said, the undergrowth around the area is pretty thick.
This is a trap.
Okay.
That's why it's so overgrown everywhere else. This is the only way through.
I guess I have spells. Resorting the spells.
We
right?
can wear masks.
Oh,
so
we
the
do.
spores don't.
That is actually a good idea. Let's put on our plague doctor
When,
masks.
when you were dispatched from the town because of the plague, George thought to buy some plague doctor masks to help against the disease. They very helpfully sold him some masks, those big ones with the cones, and then gave him 3 days of herbs that smell nice to stick in the nose, with the claim that those herbs will protect you from any bacterial infection.
There we go.
Okay. Now, being that I know you're in medicine, and this is the Middle Ages, take that for what it's worth.
Oh, we don't know. We're not apothecaries.
You guys don't know, but
That's actually a good idea. So I'm gonna get my plague doctor's mask and put some herbs in there.
Yeah, me
Okay.
too.
Does
So-
when I take out the herbs, are they changing colors?
no, doesn't seem to have any effect on them. Okay, you guys put the plague doctor masks on, stuff some herbs, one of the doses of herbs in there.
Masked out.
Like they said, they will last about 24 hours before they stop smelling and lose their effectiveness, according to the guy who sold it to you.
Okay.
You have 3 uses of it.
Okay. Yeah. So there's no animals still that we've seen.
Correct. Its forest has gone silent yet again.
Okay.
The bird sounds are gone.
Well, I can still hear them, but
That's because they're coming from the TV.
yeah.
Okay. Those are
You want to just head in, like you said? Staying away from them as much as possible?
I want to get out my indestructible stick, and
Okay.
I would like to poke the closest mushroom.
the one over
That's
here
what
to the
makes
side.
them put their spores out.
That's why we have a mask. We're immune. I don't.
Yeah, you're immune to spores
I
now.
don't want to touch them.
Okay, so he pulls out he has this black staff he got in a previous portion of the adventure that has a strange carving of a cage or whatever near the top of it. They haven't figured out what, if any, reason that exists. But the one thing he did find from the college before he left town is that the staff is nearly impervious to damage. It can't be scratched, can't be marred. As far as the college was able to tell, it can't be broken. So that's the only ability he knows of at this point in his
Okay.
magic staff.
I have a magic staff. What does it do? It doesn't break.
That's very useful
Yes.
for a wizard. You don't want to break your staff.
But yes, I want to poke the closest mushroom and see
Okay,
if it
you
reacts
step
or
up to
screams or
the
whatever.
pinkish ones next to you.
Okay.
Give them a poke. Some sort of a reddish dust or whatever shakes out from them underneath it, leaving sort of this layer of powder on things below it. They seem very sturdy. You're not able to actually break them just by poking it. You might be with a little bit more force. But yeah, it certainly releases some sort of a spore or whatever that settles down to the ground immediately.
Could I, with gloves?
Do you have gloves?
Yes.
Okay.
Collect some of the spores in a glass vial.
You could try.
I would like to attempt to.
Okay.
You can require under outdoor survival.
No.
Okay.
You go up there and using your gloves, you scoop some into the thing. It gets all over the gloves.
Okay.
But you get a sample in one of the vials.
High five.
No thanks.
You can see from a distance. I mean, the spores are very lightweight, and it's sort of like
Like
a
baby
dusty
powder?
shelf, yeah, or baby powder, where you're sort of as you're scooping them, they're sort of like puffing up around you and everything else. And like I said, they stain your gloves bright pink.
Okay.
You should probably get rid of your gloves.
I'll keep them on for now in case I need them, but yeah, I'm gonna throw away the gloves.
Okay. So you have a vial of spores.
Yep.
Does it have a lid on it?
I sure hope
Nope,
so.
he just tosses it in his backpack.
I would assume I have a cork or something.
Yep.
If not, there's mushrooms here. We can make a cork.
That's right.
So probably just walking through them is not a good idea.
Well, how hard did you poke it? He said it's pretty sturdy.
I probably just tapped it with a.
Yeah,
with a
he
stick.
didn't use a lot of force.
I mean, we can burn the mushrooms. See if that happens.
Put all that in the air. Better pray the masks work.
We're impervious to all. All airborne toxins. We're good. Probably go through the forest, I think. Like, take our time and go through the forest.
Okay, like I said, the underbrush is pretty thick. You'll have to like cut your way or blaze a trail, not necessarily with fire,
Right, yeah.
but you'd have to cut your way through the forest in order to go through it.
Could we carefully walk through there and not, like, it looks like they're spaced out.
Yeah, there's plenty of space to bypass them. If your goal is not to touch the mushroom, that's easy. There's plenty of space for that. And it looks like the trail that walked through, I mean, the tracks that you're following lead up to this, and they sort of spread out across the thing and then go out the other side. But it doesn't look like any of them approached or interacted with any of the mushrooms.
I thought it was a wall of mushrooms.
No, it's literally what you see here.
Oh,
It's
okay.
several clusters of mushrooms.
Okay. So yeah, probably just go around the mushrooms. Do I see anything like in the mushroom patches, like hidden in the brush of the mushrooms?
Hidden in the brush of the mushrooms?
Or does any of the mushrooms have eyes?
Any dead animals around the mushroom?
Yeah.
Let
any
me
dead
find out. No, you do not see any eyes in the mushrooms or any hidden things in the mushrooms.
Okay.
And from the best of your visibility, there's no sign of anything dead in the
Okay.
mushrooms. They seem, other than the spores from the one, they seem
Well,
completely
let's trust our masks
mundane. Yeah.
and make our way through.
Okay. Which way do you want to go?
So they go out this trail over here.
Yep.
And then probably just follow the direct route over to there, avoiding the mushrooms.
In between the two central clusters,
Yeah.
like here.
No, I wasn't
This
thinking
way,
there. I
the
was
big
thinking
one. Oh, okay,
go
head up
like
this
that
way?
Yeah.
Okay.
That seems too close to the mushrooms.
Okay, so the two of you cautiously head over there. You get to about this location, then all of a sudden in front of you, part of the ground suddenly heaves up and stands up
Oh, how fun.
as a creature. Let's see if I can share the graphic for you.
Well, he doesn't look nice at all.
Probably.
It's constructed of like a layer of dirt covered with grasses, plants, etc. It sort of reels up and sort of stands up almost as if it was sitting or lying down.
Okay.
Shape-wise, it looks very similar to the creature you saw the previous night.
Okay.
Okay. It turns and just sort of looks at you, and you can see some dull green glows from where its eyes would be. Doesn't make any move beyond that, however.
Let's just stand still. See if it sits back down.
Okay.
Or stand absolutely still.
Okay.
Just stare at it.
Okay. So 2 would-be visitors in plague doctor masks.
Just stand and stare at them with hell
It's like a
birds.
T-Rex. It can't see you if you don't move.
Oh, maybe that's the case.
Maybe.
Okay.
It worked at the hut.
Okay. It stands there, sort of looking in your direction. Give me a stealth roll.
I'd like to roll above a 50 now. Dice.
You would like to?
Nope.
A 120. That's a 127. Is it right?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It's whatever you roll
Is
plus
this
your.
101?
That is a 1.
That's a that's,
Use a fortune point on that.
Yeah. A 0
and that
1
gives me
is a
another
1.
Reroll.
A fortune point lets you roll over. The other mechanic that you should be aware of. If you roll percentile and you roll between a 1 and a 5, you roll again and subtract. Okay, it's basically
So I
a fumble.
subtract 1.
No, you start with 1, you roll again, whatever that number, you subtract from 1, and then add your bonus. Okay,
so-
basically it's equivalent of a fumble.
Okay.
Okay, if you roll a 96 to 100, you do the opposite. You keep your roll, plus you roll again, add them, and add your skill. You get a really high score.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna
So,
roll and you can walk me through it.
Okay, so roll again because you rolled a 1.
So I got a 67.
Okay, so your net roll is a negative 66.
Okay.
Add your skill,
My skill is 26, so 40.
negative 40, and you need 101 to succeed. So you definitely didn't succeed. If anything, he
Then
says,
why would I re-roll?
well, because you didn't re-roll anything yet. Your roll was a negative 66.
Right, but
You're-
I rolled
you're-
a 1 the first time. Why would I roll a second time and get
Because
even worse?
occasionally you can have bonuses that are big enough that even with the second roll, you still succeed. Okay, from a combat situation standpoint. In this case, his suggestion of re-roll is use a fortune point and re-roll your dice roll, which means you start over completely, take whatever the new one is, because you effectively rolled nearly as bad as you could possibly in the game. Okay. Mechanically, what this would mean is you failed as well. Okay, so he says everybody hold still. You say if we don't move, they can't see us, and then both of you start moving and like you fall over, which doesn't really accomplish much.
Right.
So George, I know, used a fortune point.
It got worse.
It got worse. Are you going to use
So-
another fortune point?
I want her to roll first.
Okay.
So I mark off a fortune point.
Right. So just put a mark next to it because they recharge at the
I
end
don't
of
want
the
to
day.
burn all my
Oh, okay.
fortune points if we're going to fight a plant monster.
Okay. Then you roll again, and he's waiting to see if you could succeed.
So is that a 90?
If it's a 9-0 and a 0, then 90.
90
There you go. You
and
succeeded,
26.
So she holds still.
So. Oh, I'm going to burn. I got 5. It's what it's for. Oh my gosh. Another 15. Oh. I refuse to take dark deals.
When the fortune points give you the re-rolls. You can burn more fortune points if you want, or as a GM, I can always offer you a free one.
What's the?
The catch is you get a point of corruption.
What's that do?
If you get too much corruption, you mutate. You either get a mental problem, or you grow a third arm, or things like that.
That could be useful for Ben.
It could
He
be.
can hold a shield.
It could be, except for the fact that you're in a very superstitious world, and mutations are specifically illegal,
Oh, okay.
and you get burned because you're a monster, not a person.
All right.
Although, part of the storyline is supposedly the king has recently outlawed the the crime of being a mutant. It's no longer, you can no longer act on that. That's not a crime anymore, as a recent change. When the campaign started, it was very clearly mutations are to be burned at the stake, destroyed, etc. at sight. Midway through the campaign, the king sent out a proclamation that that's no longer a crime. Mutants should no longer be attacked and ostracized and so forth. They're just like every other citizen. The group doesn't know why. The rumor is his son is hidden away somewhere in a castle, potentially mutated, and the king is trying to protect him.
I'm gonna re-roll again. I want to use different dice. That's those 3 rolls under 20
Okay,
each time.
not a problem, Thad.
There we go.
That does that all the time. So what'd you get?
There we go. I've got good.
You got good?
Yes, that's like a 121.
Okay. So you guys freeze and hold still, holding your breath and your plague doctor masks as you stare, looking strange yourself in the forest, at the creature. It looks at you, and then after seems like a couple of minutes, it slowly sinks back down into the dirt.
Okay. So we don't go that way.
Can we go around the outside?
I'm wondering if there's more.
I don't know. Only one way to find out.
Well, first let's back up so we're not in the sensory range. So we're slowly back up.
Okay.
Looking at where it is, do we see a bound?
You could, yes, but if you didn't know there was a creature there, you wouldn't know that there was anything there.
Do
I
we
mean,
see
the
any
gra-
other areas that look like that one?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. When it sinks back down, the ground just looks like the rest of the ground. It's like looking at the front yard.
Okay.
There's no indications of where something might be, if there's more or if there isn't more.
Maybe cast teleport. Seeing of like 9.
You can do it.
I think it's only a 1-person thing though, unless I overcast.
There you go. Just aim for the overcast. So the way spells work, every time you cast a spell, it has a CN number, which is the difficulty. The spell he's talking about with teleport has a target number of 9.
I don't think it's 9. I think it's like 6. But
Okay,
it's
well,
high.
let's assume it's a 9. Okay, mechanically that means in order to successfully cast it, he has to roll 190, using his magic skill as his bonus. So you have a magic skill as well. It's probably not plus 90.
Where would that be at?
It's a dance skill
Arcane.
under language magic.
Language magic.
You might not have any training in it, so it would be your intelligence bonus.
So he hasn't trained. You haven't trained her how to cast spells yet either.
I think I did the basic skills first, and then
I don't
went
see
to
that.
magic.
Okay, so he hasn't actually shown you how to cast magic. He's just told you if you do this, sometimes it casts a spell.
It would be over here. No, I think she has some advances in it. Yeah, she has 2 advances.
2 advances. Okay, you have just the bare
okay.
minimum.
Okay, I got it.
Okay, so you take your intelligence
See?
plus your 2, whatever that bonus is, and you need to roll the dice and get, for this example, 190.
You
Okay.
don't have teleport. I think all your spells are C and 0.
Right.
They
So,
are.
in that case, obviously that's not possible, or not. It's highly unlikely. You'd have to get open-ended high and get a 96 or better. So what instead you can do is called channeling, which is the equivalent in Pathfinder of casting a long spell. And you spend your action and you channel and you roll, and any successes over 100 add up. So if you roll 120, you save 20 points, and the next time you can channel again or you can cast your spell, and you add that bonus to your skill. So maybe the next time you get 130, you add 30 more to your pool. Now you have a plus 50 on it. Eventually you get high enough that you think, okay, yeah, now I can cast the spell and get 190. You do that. If you get the 190, your spell works. If you don't, all that time's wasted, the spell fails. If you miss the spell by more than 60 in either direction, that's when you get a super powered spell. Either it goes super good or it goes super bad. Either way, other effects happen. Okay? Otherwise, you just get a spell that fails or one that's slightly more powerful. The gamble is, okay, how long do I want to channel? Because you can't choose how much of that you add. You get all of the bonus. And so if you channel too far and then you change your mind and you cast a low level spell, you're going to overpower it very easily, which is not good either.
Right.
Yep, I can't overcast it to someone else when it's a target you.
It's only target you.
Yeah. Okay. Is there like a rock?
Yeah.
Could I pick up a rock and like throw it in the middle of the valley, like over here, and see
Sure.
if something else reacts?
Sure. You pick up the rock, toss it out there. It lands in the grass with a thud.
Okay.
No reaction from the clearing.
So I'm thinking we like go really slowly south down the clearing and then cut through the middle.
That's what I thought.
West.
Yeah.
Down around the last
Yeah.
bunch of mushrooms.
Yeah. Over here. Whoa. Different. Oop.
Yeah,
down.
that's the new software version of the targeting.
Yeah.
That's where you want to go.
Yeah, down south there and then cut through the middle, going like really slowly.
Okay. And then you just want to go straight across the clearing.
Yes, really slowly.
Okay. You guys get up to about here. Give me a stealth roll.
I'm bored. I don't know.
Both of us?
Yep. Assuming you're both being stealthy.
That's the goal.
I assume that was what your goal was.
Aha, yes. This dice just rolled 74. Oh.
Are they both single digits?
No.
It's a 47. You just say it's a 74.
84.
84.
Only an
Total
84.
84.
Okay.
I got above 100. It's 117.
Okay.
120 something.
Okay. Do you want to use another fortune point, or are you going to stick with the 84
How many did you use? One.
out of?
4.
It's up to you.
Sure. Most of the time I don't.
I don't know what the downfall is if you roll less than.
You fail the skill. It's like, I mean, you're making a stealth check, so conceivably, if there's something there to hear you, it would have heard you. I'm not telling you there is or isn't. It may be a complete waste because there's nothing there to hear you. That's up to you guys to determine.
What's your
Okay.
toughness and willpower?
T is toughness.
54. 34.
Oh, you have a.
34.
and then willpower is
WP.
WP is 32.
32. Okay, so you can have 6 corruption. Or did she say 24 with toughness or
34.
34.
Okay. If we want to get into that, but not that we want to, but
That's better. That's 93 plus 26.
Okay,
is
plus 26?
116. Or
Okay.
119.
So you guys move cautiously up the clearing. You get there, and eventually work your way over here. You get to about this spot, and then the creature on the right-hand side stands up again and sort of looks in your direction. Still hasn't moved or done anything else. As it does so, another creature on this side stands up as well. Both of them are looking in your direction, but not making any movement towards you.
What's on this side? Like, once we get.
The
through
path continues into the forest.
let's just
You can hear the sounds of the river further on.
let's keep slowly walking.
Okay.
Okay. You keep going. Okay. Yeah, the creatures. You hear them as you guys head out of the clearing. You hear them sink back down and disappear into the ground. Okay. A little further on, you can hear the river up ahead.
Okay.
Let's see. Switch to this one.
Next time we're burning down the forest.
It's always the best plan. Burn it all.
Fire mages go into a colorful forest. They leave. They leave the forest in ruins. pot of gold.
That's right. On the other side
Okay.
of the rainbow.
Actually, we have to deal with the leprechaun.
So I need to place you guys. Okay, so we have Erdem, and we have Giselle. Okay, you guys continue on. The forest gets progressively more colorful as you go, to the point that fairly soon, as you go past the clearing, most of the green sort of fades away, and it's more just a rainbow of different colors. Up ahead, you can see the river, or hear the river, better said, and you eventually get to a point where you can see it up ahead as soon as it loads. It's far more colorful than the gray screen.
It's the clouds from the top down.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah. The camera's slowly zooming
aerial
in
view,
on the
yeah.
action.
Yeah.
It's the tree cover.
Too fancy for map tab.
Apparently. I tried to get too fancy with it.
Want me to like refresh?
Let's see, I'll do that here. Okay, so first I need to turn on vision. Yes, you can go ahead and refresh.
We arrive at Plaid.
That's right. The forest has gone plaid.
Ah, a black screen.
Okay.
And it's raining.
That would be the river. Okay, try unselecting your characters. Okay. Let me reset the vision.
It's gone pitch black.
It's nighttime all over right
It got too colorful. All the colors mixed in with the black.
now. Ooh.
There you go.
So pretty.
Giselle, the whole time, has been chattering about how attractive this forest is.
It is. It's like a forest of amethyst.
Okay. The forest opens up as you guys go down. Here, the trees are very obviously mutated or altered. The leaves have gone almost entirely blue. The grasses are a unusual color of pinkish purple. The trees look like they are extensive growth and old growth in this area, and the forest feels very lush. Plus, there's large sections of mushrooms that have sort of grown up along a lot of the trees and things like that. Basically, it feels almost like this is overgrown, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Further ahead, somebody really needs you. Andy's saying, "What's going on?"
My cousin.
Further up ahead, you see an old tree trunk that has grown out across the stream, and on the northern edge, there is the spring itself. Water coming down a waterfall, forming the heart of the river itself. The stones in the river glitter a bit more than the light would indicate, but the water seems very clear. At the far side, up a short set of stairs, there is a large stone carved with some sort of markings that are pulsing with a bluish glow.
The markings are pulsing?
Yes.
Does it
Right
appear
about
to be
here.
magic with the winds of magic?
Yes.
Like, is it where all the wind is flowing out of?
Yes.
Okay.
There are birds here, or at least animal sounds.
Probably mutated birds.
There's
Maybe.
birds flying across the screen.
I know. Yeah, do we see those birds or no?
Yeah.
Okay. Do they look mutated?
They don't stick around long enough.
Okay. I didn't know if they had like a third leg or something. Is it pulsing with blue energy?
Yes.
Is
Where are
there
we?
You guys are in the southwest corner.
all the way over
Okay.
there? Is there more big mushrooms?
Yes.
Okay.
Right at the tree trunk right next to you, to the north. There's several other clusters scattered around.
Oh. So it's like the stream a ravine type thing?
No. It's fairly shallow here.
Okay. I guess stealth our way up.
Okay.
Across the bridge? Or the log? Is it a log or a bridge?
It's both. It's an
Log
old
bridge.
tree that's sort of fallen over and has grown up over the stream.
Oh no, going up on that log seems like a trap. We're stealth our way there. and see if we
You
can
are
get
very
away.
stealthy characters, so
Yeah.
you're good. So okay, you're gonna be quietly and cautiously moving forward.
Yes.
Okay, give me another stealth roll.
And we get attacked. I passed with a 102.
I got a 80. No. A 91.
91.
Okay.
Okay, we good with all those?
Probably.
Okay.
Okay. You guys get to about there when you see some movement up here by the stone.
Something flickered out of existence. Oh, okay.
Okay. And a creature of some form, let me find it, steps out of the shadows behind, steps forward, appears to be like that. Fairly tall, easily the size of a tree.
Okay, like the size of a big tree?
Not a big tree, but I mean about 10 feet tall.
Okay.
Okay. Has the appearance of a wood or bark-like exterior. It comes out, has sort of a greenish glow about it, and calls out to you. Welcome, welcome, travelers. I see you have come to join my menagerie.
He looks like firewood to me.
Please step forward. Our gifts are here for everybody.
Who are you?
I am the guardian of the forest, the giver of life, the patron of life. Some of you may refer to me as Raya.
Okay. With my limited religious knowledge, does she look like Raya?
Give me a religion lore.
That's fellowship based?
I think so.
Okay. Oh, that's a 3.
Yep.
Looking it around, like the tree trunk and stuff, does it look like there's anything there?
What do you mean the tree trunk? The
Like
bridge?
Yeah, the bridge. Like, does
There's
it look like
there's
a
lots of plants and things like that, if that's what you're talking about.
Okay. Is there like the winds and magic going through her, like she can manipulate it?
No, the winds are more swirling around her. They seem to
Okay.
be coming more from the stone next to her.
Okay.
So I think she's not a spellcaster, from my best of knowledge.
Sure. She doesn't seem to be currently casting any spells.
Correct.
Refresh yourself. Drink. Rest at my glade.
Where's the rest?
Well, they're all around you.
I guess I'll look around me. Do I see any of them?
No.
I don't see any of them.
They are all here. My children from the mortal village down the river. They all came to me when I called to them. Rest. Are you not thirsty?
So the water was glittering,
Mm-hmm.
and it's extra clear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right.
I don't like this.
Oh.
Hold on, let me check my spell book.
Yes.
She moves a little bit forward towards the stairs.
Okay. Non-magical impurities. Okay. I'm just gonna purify the water and drink it. Okay. I guess. Why'd you call to them?
I called my children back. They had been gaining my blessings for years. I wish their partnership.
For what?
Now they have joined me.
Are they the trees?
Surely you must be thirsty. Drink of my gifts, or would you offend your god?
She'll look like God.
According to him, she is.
Yeah.
You're welcome to make a religion lore if you want.
Yeah, fellowship, I believe, is what it's based off of. So.
He rolled open-ended low, so he believes whatever she says.
Yeah.
So I got a 9. Oh no. It's not a 7. That's not good. It's a 46.
Yep. Sure.
Ooh.
They've met the god of agriculture and life, who is offering them gifts.
I will.
I'm sure you are.
Can I approach the water and
Sure.
take a look at it?
You both gonna go forward?
At least I am, with my indestructible stick.
Okay. So Giselle moves up a little bit. You head over here to check out the water. It looks crystal clear.
Does the tree person have the same type of wood as my stick?
No.
No. Okay.
Hers is more of a dark brown.
Okay, I have an idea.
Okay.
Okay. It's going to be a series of spells, so it's going to be
You're gonna
dangerous.
start casting.
Well, it's petty magic, so it doesn't appear with casting. So what I want to do is I want to cast the charm animal spell
Okay.
and have an animal come and have the animal drink the water first.
Okay.
I'd like to attempt to do that.
Okay. Let's see if you can cast the charm animal spell.
And attempt to impress the tree person that I can speak to animals.
Okay.
Pretty sure it's CN0, but I want to make sure.
Are you gonna channel it or just cast?
Or just cast.
Okay.
The channel's more obvious.
Yeah. You stand there pulling the winds of magic to you. Did you want to do anything? He moves up to the water and is looking at it, considering drinking apparently.
I'm just gonna watch him for now, I guess. I
I'm gonna
don't.
use this.
Okay.
I don't want to do
since I
anything.
have that much skill. Yeah, here's the 100. I fill up. Oh, that didn't roll. Well, that's a 90. Good news is, it's on Overcast. It's only a 155. So just below an Overcast.
Just below an overcast.
Just
okay.
below.
So you see him look up at head up to the water, looks at it for a moment, and then a sparrow floats down to his feet, lands next to him, and starts drinking the water.
Yeah, is a friend to me for 4 hours.
Okay.
The Overcasts.
You see the sparrow sitting there, drinks a little bit, looks up at him, tweets, drinks some more water, looks back at him.
Does the bird appear to be mutated in any way?
No.
No. So it's completely clear, like there's no vegetation in there. Correct.
In the water?
Yes.
Correct.
And is
Nothing
there, like,
but the silvery looking rocks.
okay. I want to get out some of my herbs from the Plague Doctor mask,
Okay.
and I want to put it in the water and see if that like dissolves or something.
No.
It's not.
No. They
Okay.
get wet.
Okay.
They're now soggy herbs.
Okay.
Can we politely just decline? Like, we're not thirsty. Sorry. I'm not thirsty.
Does the lady at least seem impressed that I can talk to birds, or
You don't really get much of a read from her, given
Okay.
her features.
can I?
She, if anything, she sort of gets the you sort of get the impression she's waiting. She calls out, if you are not thirsty, perhaps you would like something to eat. She waves her arm, and one of the trees next to you, the branch bends down next to you. It has what looks like very fresh apples.
Can we pretend to eat the apples?
Well, the water's easier than the apple. But I was contemplating that. And it's like, what's my deception skill? It's charm, correct? Because there is no deception.
I think there's dupe.
No, there isn't. There's charm and intimidation. That's the only two.
Okay. So the creature says, "Surely you've come all this way, such a long journey. You'd be interested in my gifts. You are from the village, are you not?"
We are from the village to bring back their townsfolk. They requested them back.
Oh, the townsfolk have no desire to go back. They're with me now.
Well, can I talk to them? See if they want to?
Well, first you should have something to eat or drink. Rest yourself.
Could I read her voice and tone, see if she has any malevolence?
A malevolence?
Yes. Like she's
Not
smirking or
specifically,
something?
no.
Okay, I can't use not intuition.
No.
I did intimidate that bush.
Oh, you did. You tried. She moves down the stairs.
Okay. So, I will attempt it for what it's worth. I will get out one of the flasks.
Okay.
I like to try to use the petty magic purify water, and then drink it.
Okay, so you're going to take the flask, put the water in it, and then purify it?
Yes.
Okay. So you scoop up some water without any difficulty. Cast your spell.
It purifies all non-magical impurities such as poison, contaminants, or are removed, leaving a crisp, clear, portable water.
Potable water.
Potable.
Water's always portable.
Okay. I guess it does say potable.
It makes this water portable.
That is a... Good news is I can roll reliably on my magic. 132.
Okay.
So, yeah.
You pick up the vial, look at it, wave your fingers for a moment, and then drink it.
Okay.
Wait,
Um,
I need to drink some too. Don't drink it all.
Suddenly she wants some water.
She's gonna make me drink it too,
not-
and I can't.
I mean, it's a vial. It's not a whole lot of water.
Yeah.
So you.
She didn't say
by,
we had to drink a
by the
whole
time
lot.
by the time Giselle runs up, you've already drunk the water.
Okay.
Okay. It is clean, refreshing. It tastes sweet, almost like it's sugared.
Okay.
It tastes like more. Give me a willpower roll.
Just good thing I'm good at that. Just a willpower roll or like cool?
Cool.
Cool. Okay, because I actually have training.
Okay.
I succeeded.
Bye.
I rolled a 68 and I have a 54. So 22? Or is it 32?
22.
22.
Okay. Yeah, you have a strong inclination to drink some more, and those apples are looking pretty tasty at this point.
Okay.
But
Okay.
you're able to resist it.
Okay.
I mean, if you choose not to.
I choose to resist it.
Okay.
It's like, okay, so where's the people?
Well, are you not going to share my gifts as well?
Oh, good grief.
I knew it. I knew she was gonna make me drink it too. Can I cast the same thing?
I don't think you have purified water.
He has failed to train you in the basic skills of a wizard.
She knows how to talk to animals, and she knows how to cast dart and twitch.
Yes, and he does have a friendly sparrow next to him.
Yeah.
It's
Can
still
you drink
tweeting.
my share? I'm feeling queasy. I'm not thirsty or hungry.
Okay, she's still sitting there waiting expectantly, looking at you.
Oh my gosh. Tell me what to do, boss.
Sure, I will.
You wanna
pull out another
hook me
flask
up a
and tap the dude in a purify and then give it to her. Because I was able to resist the willpower.
Yeah, works fine for you.
Yeah. I don't know, it has no effect. Overcast away. Oh. That is a 31. And my magic is a 65. So it's a 96. So I
Looks
failed.
pure.
Yep. There you go.
Alright.
Gives you a vial. You quickly swig it. Give me a willpower save.
Cool.
Cool.
You have
yeah.
training in that.
You have cool. Yeah, whatever your cool skill
Okay.
is, plus your willpower.
Don't fail.
You say that now.
Supposed to say before she rolls.
Right. 64.
Total?
Yeah.
What's your
Okay.
skill?
It's 32 plus 5 is 37.
Okay. I guess it's up to you whether or not you want to reroll.
Sure.
Okay.
That only leaves me one.
I got corruption.
Would you like a dark deal?
I'll use my last fortune.
Prentice went out of fortune now.
Yeah,
Not saving any for fights.
I quit.
Did you not do well?
No,
Okay.
Okay. You still have the option of a dark deal if you want.
I'll just drink the water.
Okay. So she takes the water. Seems to enjoy it quite a bit. It's very refreshing. Has a slight cherry aftertaste. It's the cleanest water you've ever drunk, which is not really saying much given the Empire, but it's really refreshing. You quickly find yourself kneeling down and filling the vial multiple times again, drinking quite a bit.
Can I like shake her out of it?
You pull her away. She pauses for a moment, and then quickly grabs a couple of apples and starts eating those. The creature at the other side says, "See, she understands my gifts. Certainly you would like some more, would you not?
I would like to know where the townsfolk is, so I can at least
They
get
are
an
all
answer.
around you. She points, gesturing at the forest.
They're the mushrooms.
Yeah, I kind of gathered that, but I don't.
Are you refusing my gifts?
I have accepted your gifts.
Yes, but you must drink of the bounty of nature.
But I did.
Yes, but I insist. And you hear movement in the forest. As a couple of those grass creatures stand up.
Okay. I guess I will.
They slowly start moving out.
Sure, I'll drink another vial. I'll do the same type of thing. I have cool. I can
Okay.
be cool.
Okay, you drink another vial?
Sure.
Okay.
Another cool check.
Sure.
What?
There you go. I succeeded by 144.
Okay. Giselle, by this point, has 2 or 3 partially eaten apples laying at her feet. She's grabbing more.
Okay.
Can you bind my hands or something? So I quit. You said you got rope, right?
I do have rope. It's like, there. Now may we leave?
Well, why would you ever want to leave such a nice place such as this? The mortal
Things
world
to
out
do.
there, the mortal world out there is far too dangerous. I insist you must stay. You
Well,
must
I can
join
always-
the others here and expand the forest.
Well, by expanding the forest, I can go out there and spread the word of this place so more people show up.
That's unnecessary. The waters of this place flow across the world. Eventually, all will come here
Okay.
and join and thank the gifts of Raya.
Darn Faye. Anyway. Does the stone seem to change at all, or is it just a still pulsing thing?
The stone?
Yeah,
No, that hasn't changed.
that hasn't changed. It said it had writing. Can I read the writing?
Looks like some sort of arcane northern type writing.
Can I see it?
Fairly primitive.
Okay.
So the creatures, the one on the left, they're moving towards you.
Yeah.
They're not moving super fast. They don't seem to be capable of a lot of speed, at least not yet. But they are slowly moving towards you.
Okay. Could I try to get the wizard to stop eating apples?
It depends on how you're going to do that. If you just yell at her, no, that doesn't seem to affect her.
Could I?
She says, "I'm not eating apples."
Could I guess?
What's an
Slap her?
Sure,
These
you
are
can slap her.
delicious apples.
Yeah, these are apples. These are good. You should have some. Eat some apples.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. You slap her across the face. Do 3 points of damage to her. It like shocks her for a moment.
Told you needed to tie me up.
Um,
Start
Eating?
feeding you an apple.
does the tree people look like they're moving up to us aggressively?
It's hard to tell with a grass monster,
Well, yes,
but yes, they seem to be moving towards you, and you get an air of
I do have 6 sense.
yeah. You get a sense that they mean to restrain or affect you in some manner.
I should have brought that up once we walked into this place, but I do have 6 sense would tell me if it's like a trap or something.
Okay.
Just
It wouldn't have necessarily gone off before.
So I guess I will.
She calls out, as if to the forest, not necessarily to you, says, this poor unfortunate soul has declined my gifts. Please restrain him, and he knows not what he does. We will have to convince him otherwise.
Could I cast a spell real quick?
You can, because we are going into initiative.
Okay. Okay. Stop eating apples. Reminds me of these video games where we walk in here and one of your party members are just stunned for the whole fight, completely useless.
Okay, Giselle eats an apple. Erdem.
Okay. I would like to cast etheric armor on myself to give me some armor.
Let's see if you can cast it. Are you going to channel or cast?
No, I'm just gonna cast.
Okay.
Because I feel like I'm gonna be attacked here soon.
Okay.
Roll decent. So that is a 147. So I got 1 overcast. So I will apply +2 armor to all locations.
1 overcast doesn't give you anything.
It's on every +2 SL above the CN number.
CN is 2?
Yes.
Okay. So one extra level.
So it's so in
One-
total all my body parts are +3. So
Okay. So that is the equivalent of 15 points of magical defense.
okay.
That's how that works.
So 15 AC then?
Yeah, 15 DB. Defensive bonus.
Okay.
So whatever your natural defensive bonus
Plus 15.
gets an extra 15.
Okay.
That can't be reduced because of hit points.
Okay.
Okay. He casts a spell. As soon as he does, give me a willpower roll or cool test. Okay.
And this is an arcane spell, so it's useful.
Okay. Oop. I don't move everybody. The creature moves up and attempts to grab you,
Okay.
or brawl with you, better said. Okay. So the way combat works in this, since you may or may not be involved momentarily,
Okay.
you have a offensive bonus, which is your weapon skill. Okay, that ranges typically. I don't know what yours is, but that'd probably be a better example. What's your halberd skill?
It would be melee polearm.
Melee polearm.
And that is
Right under melee basic.
a 28 or 34.
34. Okay, so if you attack somebody, you have a plus 34, plus any other situational modifiers. When you are attacked, you have a natural defensive bonus. Okay, that do you have it pre-calculated for her?
Probably not.
Okay. So probably I don't think
Nope.
ever got into combat.
No.
Okay, so
She's always
that
been
is
in the
your
back.
agility stat
Okay.
plus your toughness stat
Okay.
plus any dodge skill you have.
Okay.
So
So
what-
agility 26, 34, and dodge is 3.
Okay, minus 60. So in your case, it's going to be 3.
15, 65.
That's it?
Minus
That's
3.
Minus 60.
Your dodge
So-
training.
Yeah, 3 points.
That's it?
That's where she gets her 3 from.
I thought I jumped 5 into that.
Nope.
Okay.
Because, and that's basically your toughness is below average, I think, or agility is below average. One of the two.
think-
Together, they add the
I
60.
think they're both.
You said 24 and 36, right?
26 and 34.
Okay, so I had to cite it off. But 26 and 34 together add to 60.
Yes.
And then 3 points of dodge. So your defensive bonus is 3, which is relatively low. What that means is if I attack you with your attack, which is plus 37, I subtract 3, your defensive bonus, from my attack. Okay? Then we have all these fun charts that list what the attack roll is versus the type of armor they're wearing. Okay, so light armor is down here, plate mail is over here, and the chart, you can see there's some patterns to it, that lighter armor take letters more frequently. The letters represent solid hits, cutting blades, etc., through the skin. If you're wearing heavy armor, you take those less often. However, you take hit point damage much earlier because it's hard to maneuver in plate mail. The sword doesn't penetrate the armor. As opposed to light armor or no armor, you can move, you don't get hit, but when you do, you feel it a lot more. Is the way is the intent behind the charts. Okay.
So do you have a health, like an AC or health points or anything on
Yes,
here?
you should. If not,
It's on the second page. On wounds.
Okay.
Box there.
It says wounds 11.
It was 11,
Okay.
so times by
5.
5.
So you have 55 hit points. Okay. Now, when something attacks you, you can choose to parry or defend yourself, which means you take anything you want from your weapon skill, the 37, and can apply it to your defensive bonus. So you take the 37 and you can put some or all of it on your 3. Makes it harder for them to hit you, but the trade-off is when you act again, when it's your turn next, that 37 is reduced by the same amount that you use to defend yourself, and you're less able to hit them as well.
So I'm eating apples. I don't have any weapons out.
Correct. You're right. Well, you have an apple technically, but the point being, when he casts a spell, the arcane magic seemed to influence whatever it is that's affecting you. Thus, you got another saving throw. In concept, if he does something like that again, if you're able to break free, you could stop using apples and then potentially help defend. That's why I'm going over the basics for you. Okay. And it's relevant because assuming you guys actually get out of here alive, you'll need to know it for the regular game. Okay. So that you have the context of what it is going on. So, meanwhile, you cast your spell. She eats an apple. The first creature comes up and tries to hit you. What is your defense?
My DB is 48.
48. Okay.
And then do I have to say how much I'm parrying with?
Yes, you have to define what you want to parry with.
And this will affect my magic skill also.
It will affect everything, yes. 48 is pretty darn good. So you got that defense spell up.
Yeah. It's mage armor, basically. I'll dedicate. What's the rate that DB affects you? Is it just like it's a subtraction, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I'll leave it like it is.
Just leave it as is?
Yeah.
Okay. Armor type?
I have leathers, but it's also kind of magical leathers for the purposes of the spell.
Okay, so it's like a leather jacket?
It's full leather, top down.
Soft leather or
No hard boiled stuff. It's just all.
okay, just soft leather full suit. So that's armor type 6 in your case.
Okay.
So magical doesn't affect that. 15 gives you that. If they have some effect that's affected by magic, then it would.
Okay.
Okay. He strikes at you doing 6 points of damage.
Okay.
Okay. The other creature moves over to here.
Okay.
Giselle eats another apple, and then Erdem.
The tree person just stands there. Correct.
The one on the stairs, yes.
Yeah. Darn it! I can't believe we're not using advantage. It's really hard to cast a lot of these spells without advantage.
That's where the concentration comes from.
Oh, it's these types of moments when advantage is how.
This sort of moment, actually, advantage would be far detrimental to you because you wouldn't get any, and they would rapidly pile it up. It only really helps when you can stand ranged.
There's a tree dude there.
There is a tree dude there. Now the good news is there is no attacks of opportunity.
Yes. So he's just punching at me?
He's effectively brawling with you.
Okay.
In a fairly awkward attempt to try to grab you.
I gotta look at the channel rules, because if I want to cast a spell, I gotta channel it.
Okay. You make your roll, and whatever your success level is over 100 is what you add to your next roll.
Okay. Because I think I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
So I use my channeling skill.
Okay.
Because that's a separate skill. I'm going to channel Firewall.
Okay. Well, technically, you channel. You don't have to declare what spell it is until the end, until you actually cast. The channeling is just gathering magic.
Does there happen to be any fire anywhere?
No, there does not seem to be any fire in the plant blade.
Because I get plus 10 to cast more fire spells if there's fire nearby.
There is no fire currently.
Okay.
You hear some animals growling in the distance, but
Oh, it's a 97.
oh, that's good.
Roll
Roll again.
Oh. Sure. That's a 52, so that's 99. That's 149 plus my 64 skill.
Okay, 49, so 10 levels of channeling.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have a plus 107, I think it is, when you cast your spell
Yeah.
next.
Okay. I do have the channel protection thing from overcasting from the number stuff. Like plus 6 and above, I have that protection.
Oh, if you overcast the spell, you don't.
I don't blow up
Okay.
on the channeling,
Okay.
but the actual casting the spell. will
Right,
blow
that's
me
where
up.
the problem
Yeah, that's where it's gonna hurt me.
Okay.
Yep, that's my channel.
Okay, so you're impressed as Erdem raises his hands and calls forth the magic. For some reason, it's very concentrated here because he gets a lot of magic.
I should have just cast the spell directly.
Okay.
It's a 6 CN though. That's
All
the
right,
thing.
you succeeded. Okay, the creatures. That one goes ahead and strikes at you again.
Okay.
Now, did you subtract your skill? for
I didn't parry any.
You didn't parry. Okay. You gonna parry at this point?
Oh, that's a decent idea.
What do you parry with?
Whatever your weapon skill
yeah.
is. If you don't have a weapon out, then it's your brawling skill, which is by default just your weapon skill.
Just your basic
Basic
melee?
weapon skill. Well, not basic melee. Brawling, hand-to-hand fighting is a specific skill. So you would use your weapon skill stat plus any brawling training you happen to have. Brawling is unusual. Most people don't have it. So it's just whatever your weapon skill is.
So I have
So
it.
this one.
Right.
I have it written down. I have a buckler. It's plus 10 range, plus 20 melee. What does that do?
If you use your shield, it's good versus one attack a round, and it gives you plus 20 on your defense.
I would like to use the shield.
Okay, but it eliminates the use of your arm.
I got 2 arms.
Not when it comes to casting spells. In
Oh, why?
Warhammer, you need to have both hands free to cast the spells and everything.
I think it's one hand because you use spells.
Yes, but you
in
have a
war.
staff and a buckler,
Yeah.
so you don't have a hand free.
Can't I channel it through the staff?
No. I'm fine with the staff in one hand with your other hand free because it's a wizard implement.
Okay.
A shield is not.
Okay. Then I will
You're
just take it.
just take the 40, leave it at the 48.
Yeah, 48 is pretty high. So it's
That is pretty good.
complete miss.
He strikes you for 4 points. Okay. The other one stays where he is on the other side of the log. Okay. Giselle munches another apple.
Could she have gotten a cool test for the channeling?
No.
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 Okay. So I would like to attempt to cast a spell.
What spell?
Firewall.
Okay.
It's a CN of 6, so I might not overblow myself,
Okay.
depending on how I roll.
So you add 109 plus your skill.
My skill's 65, so
So
that's
174 already. and you need 160.
yes.
Don't roll.
220 I overcast.
Yes.
And maybe blow up.
So
Roll a 1.
this is a case where he wants to roll low.
That is a 28.
That's not bad. That's almost what you want.
So that's going to be. I had a 174 card, so that would be 200,
203 or something.
203. So I went off with
4 successes.
4 successes over that, so 2 overcasts.
Sure.
Okay, because I channel a fire streak of Aguishi, which is the war called, creating a wall of flame. The firewall is willpower bonus yards wide, 1 yard deep. For every +2 SL, you may extend the length of the firewall by willpower bonus yards. Anyone crossing the firewall gains 1 ablaze condition and suffers a hit with damage equal to your willpower bonus. It's handled like a magic missile.
Where do you want to place it?
I want to place it on the dude, and then I want to corner it so it protects me from the other dude. So,
How long does it go?
my willpower bonus is 4, so it would go 12 yards. Yeah, like that.
Okay. So now, as soon as he does so, give me another cool test. You get a +20 for the 2 success levels.
+20 on top of my.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's 2 ablaze conditions because I have the advanced war fires talent.
Okay. What I will do in that case is apply a 2 ablaze. We'll do a C fire critical then.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
It does persistent damage. That's,
I understand
okay.
that. Yeah.
It's plant matter. So I cast fire at it.
One. 127.
Okay, no problem. You realize these apples don't taste quite as tasty as they are. They are still tasty. It'd probably be worthwhile to bring some with you, but you're momentarily out of your daze and able to act with free will as a huge blast of burning hot flame appears next to you, creating a wall of flame across a pile of grass and an old tree trunk across the river.
Hey.
It was a brand new spell too. Cost me 6 gold to get it.
So once you use the spell, it's gone?
No.
Oh.
I could keep casting it, but it's super hard to cast. It took me 2 rounds to cast it. Yeah.
Find critical tables. Okay. Give me a critical roll.
Okay, so just D100? 100. 56.
56. Burns him in the legs. He recoils, but doesn't actually move in his case. He does not have leg armor, so he takes 10 hits. Okay, and he is burning 2 automatically.
And each round that he's in the wall of fire, he's going to be taking
Another C critical.
another C critical.
Yes.
Okay, instead of my willpower damage.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just going to be the critical level based on the successes you got. It would start at an A critical, and with every extra success,
Because
it
it
increases the level.
Okay, because it usually would be in our system 20 points for each round that are in the fire.
I
Or
understand
passive
that.
for the fight.
These
Okay.
work better as far as the
Okay.
combat system,
Okay.
so I'm just substituting in this case.
Sure.
Okay. What would you like to do on your action?
You got spells.
I do have spells.
You can speak with animals. Call an animal friend. There's still a robin next to you.
Is it helping out?
No.
Okay.
It seems very scared by that big wall of flame. But it's still next to you and friendly.
So, was I in a daze, like eating apples and not
Yes.
realizing anything that combat-wise?
You
was
realized
going
everything
on?
that was going on. You just didn't care. You were more interested in how quickly you could eat the apples. And right now, you're like your whole face and most of your shirt and everything just covered with mashed apple from where you've been chewing it as fast as you could. You also feel slightly sick to the stomach, like you ate too much candy.
Yeah.
Walls can last for 4 rounds.
Okay.
Maybe ask him.
Open
What's been
diplomacy.
going on?
You gonna talk to the grass creature?
No.
Oh, him? Okay. What do you want to do?
Ask him what the wall of fire's for.
They're attacking us.
Can you attack the one that's on fire?
Yeah.
You can still attack him even though he's on fire?
Yeah.
Will I take fire damage if I...
Do you have the talent Arcane Magic Fire?
No.
I want to make sure it's from your talents.
I have Doomed, Savvy, Pure Soul, Mimic, Sturdy, and Petty Magic.
Okay, so you will take damage from the fire if you walk into the fire.
So if I use I have to pull out the halberd,
You'd have to draw the halberd, Jess.
and that's got reach,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I can
2
use
squares.
that without getting in the fire.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Then that's what I'll do.
It's a blob now.
Yeah, it was supposed to be a gif of fire, but apparently that's not what it's supposed to do. I'll have to play around with that. So, okay, so you pull out your halberd and then take a swipe at him?
Yeah.
Okay. So, go ahead. So, do you have a halberd table? Did I ever give you that?
I do.
Okay.
I do have that.
She will need that table.
If she hits. He is burning too.
Okay. So, there's your attack table. So, you take your weapon skill, which I think you said was 37.
My weapon skill is with the pole, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is 34.
It's lower? What's your weapon
20,
skill?
29
Okay.
plus 5.
Okay, 34. So 34 weapon skill. He has a 10 defense. So anytime you attack him, you're gonna subtract 10. Okay, that gives you a 24. Okay, so you roll, add 24, and then I'll tell you what his armor type is, and you reference that for the damage.
Uh, 50
You rolled a 50?
with the.
Well, with your 24 bonus? Okay.
Yep.
So look at the table. On the left and right has the numbers. You're looking at a 50 versus armor type 12.
Is it high?
No damage?
If it has a dash, then it effectively didn't hit him.
Okay.
Okay. So she pulls out her halberd fairly clumsily, takes a wild swing, not very accurate. Her hands are still a little sticky from all the apples and everything. Doesn't connect with the creature. Okay, you just created the wall. The creature goes. First thing it's going to do is move out of the fire.
Whoa, it's intelligent.
It is intelligent enough to be able to do that.
I'm gonna put another firewall there.
It moves out over here and then takes a punch at Giselle. Now, given that it's fire and it's specifically persistent, what I'm going to do is every round afterwards, it's still going to take the critical, but it's going to decrease 1 level until it's gone.
Okay.
Okay, so a C to a B to an A, then nothing.
Okay.
Okay. Plus, it happens to be burning, bleeding-wise, so that's going to continue regardless.
Okay, that's because I get benefits for ablaze conditions on the battlefield. So.
Okay, so yeah, it is burning, not much, but it does have some continuing effect as a result of that. So anyways, the creature steps over here, and he's going to take a swing at you. Now the question is, do you want to parry any, or just take it? And I think we calculated you had a 3 defense.
That is right.
Parry everything.
Okay.
Now, one drawback you have is because you have a halberd, which is a 2-handed weapon. It's really big, which means it's not very effective for parrying because it's so big. It's one of its limitations. So every 2 points you put into parry, you get 1. Okay, so if you have a 34, I think you said, if you parry everything, then you get an effective bonus of 17. Follow how that works?
No.
Okay, so your weapon skill is 34.
Yes.
You're parrying with this gigantic stick that doesn't move very quickly, so you get half effectiveness with it.
Okay.
So your 34 bonus to your defense becomes a 17 because it's a big weapon. 17 plus your original defense of 3 gives you a net 20. When your action comes up again, because you parried everything, you're free to attack or do whatever you want, but if you attack, you have a +0 to hit it. Because you put everything into your defense.
But it saves you from dying.
It reduces the chance of you dying. Because instead of a 3 defense, you have a 20 defense.
Okay.
Okay? He's obviously a lot more defensive since he has a 48. Of course, he also has magical armor on and things like that. Other things he failed to train you with. So
That takes level 2 for all that.
So, are you gonna full parry then?
Yes.
Okay, so 20 defense. And what are you wearing for armor?
It says leather.
Yeah, she has the full set of leathers.
Full same thing as you? Okay, so armor type 6 is your armor. He gets he does 5 points of damage to you. Okay. He then burns for 2.
I would like to point out we do have Ulrich cloaks on, if that matters.
It does not matter in this case.
Okay.
Okay.
I just want to point that out. I
Alright.
just realized Ulrich Stone were wearing Ulrich cloaks.
No, it's a
Well, yes.
northern tribe, so
But
not,
yes, but
I grant it, yes. Okay, the creature across the river starts slowly moving across the bridge. It looks like it's unstable on it. Not that the bridge is unstable, but more like the creature is uncertain about its footing there. So it moves extra slow. But it is working its way across the bridge. The other creature at the top retreats up to the top of the wall here and is otherwise just watching the fight. Not currently taking any participation.
darn thing.
Giselle. I'm sorry, it's technically Erdem goes first since you acted after him.
Okay, I'd like to cast a second firewall and put it so it's in the creature and blocking that other way.
Okay,
And
do you
I'll-
have to dispel the other one?
No,
And they just last 6 rounds?
4 rounds.
4 rounds? Okay. So you wanna block the other one?
I want to hit the other one while blocking that general area as much as I can.
Okay, and it's a 12-inch one?
It depends on how much I overcast. The base one's 4.
Okay, let's roll. You don't have any channeling benefits
Yeah, I
now.
know. But I have the plus 20 for the 2 ablaze, so. 60. That's a 124, so that's a fail on the spell.
Okay, so he tries to cast the second spell and ends up failing it. Do you want to move or anything else?
I would like to move a little bit away from the water. Like right there.
Okay. Giselle, what would you like to do?
Um,
Erdem steps up to take the front line with you.
With my unbreakable stick.
That's right.
Try and hit him again, I guess.
Okay. He seems a little bit flustered right now. He was unable to cast the spell.
So I don't get any bonus this time. It's just
Correct. It's just whatever you roll
Flat
minus
roll.
his 10 defense. What'd you get?
54.
54? Okay, yeah, that's not going to hurt him either. Okay, the creature goes ahead and attacks. Let's see. He's probably going to go for you because you're casting fire spells.
Okay.
So, what's your defense?
48.
48.
Don't I get the roll for a critical against him?
You do at the end of his action.
Okay.
He does a 7A to you.
No. A's the lowest, correct?
A is the lowest, yes. Well, technically, there's a tiny critical.
Okay.
That's like when a rabbit bites you. He strikes you in the arm, giving you a bruised bicep. You take 6 extra hits, and you must parry at minus 25 one round.
So I can't do anything the next round?
It's only 1 round, so as soon as your action comes, it's gone.
Okay.
Okay, now he takes a fire critical. Yeah.
37.
A 37 is his left side is covered in fire. The burns his hand. He doesn't currently have a shield, so he takes 7 extra hits, and his fire increases to 3.
3
And-
ablaze conditions?
No, 3 points of bleed every round.
Okay.
Okay, is how it works. He is ablaze. He's burning. That's what the bleed is coming from. It counts as 3 points of damage every round automatically.
Okay.
It's the equivalent of bleed, but in his case, it's fire
Okay.
because he's not actually bleeding. Okay. As far as your ability, it's every ablaze condition gives you extra 10.
Yes.
Okay.
The issue is it can go over. That's the issue with it. Is that overcasting of it?
Right. I would say every creature that's burning
Okay.
for a multiple of 5 is a blaze condition.
Okay.
Okay, because that's roughly the equivalent of 1 point of damage in the other game.
Okay.
Okay, so if you get them up to 6, then it counts as 2 ablaze conditions.
Okay.
Okay, if you get
And
other
the Warhammer
creatures,
thing, a blaze condition would be 1 point, 1 wound a turn.
right? That's what I'm saying. 5 points of bleed every turn
Okay.
is the equivalent.
Okay.
Okay. So it attacked. The other creature finishes covering. I keep drawing more templates.
Hey, I'm fine with the firewall right there.
Okay. The other creature continues across the bridge, measuring that point. There he goes. Okay, now he actually moves across, and then we go to Erdem.
Darn creature. See, you limited me to 6 CN. I was gonna get like flaming sword.
So I have to get a 160.
Mm-hmm.
And I have plus 10, so I probably want to channel it. And then cast it. So I think that's what I'm going to do.
Okay, then channel.
Yep. That is going to be a 129.
Okay, so that gives you 29 points to apply to the next thing. Okay, Giselle, what would you like to do?
So I'm not doing very good at anything I'm doing.
Good news is you didn't get attacked last turn, so you saved with bonuses.
Right. Let me try and hit him again.
The good news is your master wizard here isn't casting very many spells either. Which is the drawback of the spells, because it takes typically a extra round or two to cast the spells successfully, the more complicated ones. That normally he has like the soldier and other people in front of him, so he could just stand in the back and channel and cast whatever he wants.
Yeah.
It's unusual for the two of you to be up front, because you're not really geared towards that. Okay.
81, 105.
Okay, counting the minus 10 for him.
Yep.
Okay.
That's how math works, yeah.
I didn't know if she had added that. Okay, so look, cross reference 12 versus your roll.
Two pencils.
A lot of people, what they do is they use a card to block the line.
Yeah, that works. So it's 15 BP.
Okay. So what that means is it's 15 points of damage. The B is the level of the critical, and the P indicates that it's a pierce.
Halberds
Okay.
just do a lot of base damage.
Right. So what that does is I have a table for all the different critical types. So if you swing a sword, it's going to be a slash. If you shoot him with an arrow, it's going to be a puncture. If you hit him with a hammer, it's going to be crush. And then there's a couple of dozen other options for different types of things. In this case, you got a puncture because with the halberd, it has an axe and then a point as well. So what the attack roughly means is you reel back and you stab the creature with the point. You get a B, which is a lighter critical. Roll a percentile dice again and tell me what you get.
100.
In all cases, you
Both
want to
of
roll
them?
high. Yeah, well, you roll the percentile, the 100, D100.
55.
55, okay. And then I tell you that you strike him in the chest. He starts bleeding a dark black sap. He takes, my eyes, if
Persistent
my
damage.
eyes will work. 3 extra points of damage, and he is bleeding 2.
Poor dude.
I know.
All the persistent. That's what happens when you fight the wizards.
So he's
all the
burning,
dots on him.
and he's now also bleeding from the strike you have, all of which adds up. Now, the way the 19 points is in comparison to, like, your character has 55. Okay, so it's a fairly significant wound for them. Once they reach 0, they're gone. They're effectively dead.
Okay.
Characters have some additional rules where they don't die quite right away. The biggest problem is bleeding piles up, and with first aid you can only stop up to 5 points of bleeding. Anything beyond that, you have to let it just to stop on its own. Typically, for your guys' level, if it's a 4 points of bleeding or worse, it's really a mortal wound. You're going to bleed out before it stops, and there's not many people that have a lot of first aid skill to stop it.
It's a good thing I have cauterize that stops
Which
all
is-
bleeding
Right.
conditions.
Which is why he has cauterize, because that's what he used the first time against Carter, was it? No, the bandit.
Yeah, the bandit.
Because she was bleeding, so they cauterized her, and it killed her. They stopped the bleeding, and so.
The outcome was the same, though.
And well, then they chopped off her head, so she was going to die anyways. Okay, so that was your attack. It is bleeding, so it's going to go. It is going to strike back at Giselle this time.
Oh, that would have been a 39 because the plus 10 with the ablaze.
Okay.
Just now realize that.
Okay. So, Giselle, what is your defense at this point?
A 20.
Okay, you're going to parry again?
Yeah.
Okay. I should probably keep that chart out. Mulder, I know you are trying to have fun. It gets a 7A against you.
What's that mean?
Means you take 7 hit points.
Okay.
And then I tell you what it does because it connects solidly and does a critical against you. And the A critical is not very big. Punches you in the gut. You go last in the next round and take 1 extra hit point. So it adjusts. A lot of the criticals will adjust the initiative. You either get to go first or you specifically go at the end of the round. Changes a lot of the timing. Tends to really mess with the warriors. In the last game, they were getting very confused because their tactics fall apart then when they parry because
Does
now
that-
they have to.
Does that mean she goes next now?
No, it's on her next action. She loses it until the end of that round.
Okay, so the monster gets another action before she acts.
Right. That's where the drawback comes because in the case of the warriors, they got stunned and they didn't have a chance to recover from being stunned before the creature could hit them a second time, which is where the drawback comes from. Okay, so another thing you need to pay attention to. You have 55 hit points when you're fully healed. When you drop below 25% of that, so, 15 hit points or so, you start taking penalties on everything. Your defense goes down, your weapon skills go down, everything else. So I don't know where you're at compared to that.
I'm not there yet.
Okay, that's something to keep in mind because as you take damage and you get wounded, your skills go down, which means you're going to take more damage and go down that much faster. Okay, that's why warriors can't fight a very long time because as they take little damage, even with heavy armor, they eventually lose their momentum and get killed. Okay, the other one moves over here and just sort of looks at the fire.
Like you should.
Erdem,
I will attempt to cast a spell.
give me an A critical for the creature.
Okay. That is a 49.
49. It smokes and burns. He flails his arm somewhat trying to put him out. 7 extra hits. And another point of fire bleed. Brings him up to 4. And that's it. And then he takes 6 points from the cumulative bleed of everything.
Does he die?
Not yet.
Well,
He is burning 4 at this point.
I will.
And the fire has gone out, other than the bleed. That still counts.
I will put another firewall on top of him.
You're going to try.
I'm gonna try plus 39.
The same place, or
No, I'm
Or-
gonna try to cross it. So
okay,
if
now
I
the
roll-
other one's about to disappear.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to cross it. So if I roll well enough, I hit both of them.
Okay.
What are Oh, the other firewall's about to disappear.
Yeah. At the end of his action, it's going to go away.
I shall fortune point it because that's not a super good wall.
Okay.
That's decent. So
Oh, there.
so I pass with 1 success with the spell.
1 success level or
seven success levels, so I get 1 over, so no overcast.
Yeah, no extra benefit. So it's how long?
4 yards.
Okay, that's not going to get both of them.
Okay, that's fine.
So which one do you want to put
I
it on?
prefer the injured one.
Okay, just like straight cover them.
Yeah, and like that.
Okay.
If you put it the other way, though, will it keep the other one from advancing towards...
Well, I'm trying to kill off one so we can focus on the second one.
I know, but I'm saying, like, if you angle it that way, towards the other one, will it keep... It won't walk into the fire, right?
At least it didn't. So... Could I angle it so it's diagonal with these 2 squares?
So it's, what, just the corner of it on them?
A corner of it on him and the corner by me.
Okay, so like that?
Yeah, like that.
Okay, yeah.
Try to scare him off.
You can go any 2 squares.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay. Try to at least make him flank you.
Well, make him scared.
Okay. And then we said the base firewall was a...
C critical.
Okay, the success level just gives you a bigger wall.
Yeah, bigger
Okay,
wall.
that's fine. Okay. So on his action, he takes a C critical.
Okay.
Okay. Giselle, what would you like to do?
I thought he went first.
He does. Thanks.
C critical.
I keep forgetting that. So first off, he takes his action. The C critical applies at the end of his round. Okay. He is going to strike at Giselle, who has just a 3 defense at this point because he parried previously. Okay.
Better not kill my apprentice.
I'm trying. Well, I rolled a 5, followed by a 94.
Is that a fumble?
The 5? No, because brawling fumbles on a 2.
Okay.
But it's open-ended low, which means it becomes a roll of a negative 89.
Which is
So no, it didn't come anywhere close. It's not a fumble at that point.
Guard mechanics with their fumble tables.
What does
Okay.
that mean? Does
It's
no
distracted by the fire. Didn't even come anywhere close to you, even though it had the opportunity to do so. The other one moves over here,
Okay.
away from the fire, and then tries to take a strike at you.
Sure.
And then we gotta go do the C critical on the deck. He gets a
48 for my
Okay.
DB.
He gets a 7A against you. He does a solid punch to your face, leaving you confused and swinging in the wrong way. You take 8 extra hits and 3 rounds of stunned without parry.
So I won't get any actions for 3 rounds?
Unless you can succeed in an endurance test. 2 rounds. First one goes away as soon as you act. Which is going to be difficult. So, meanwhile, give me the fire critical against the other one.
Sure. I was tempted to burn fate for that, but
You could.
I
But
could.
It's your call.
How bad does the other one look? Like,
It's burning quite a
well,
bit.
yes, but it's standing in the wall. That's my thing.
I agree.
That's a 100 right there.
A 100 on a C?
Yep.
Well,
It went down.
yeah, the whole thing like incinerates. Predominantly the flames and everything sort of engulf it, and the central section where its head would be singes away and smolders rapidly. The whole thing goes down.
Is the stun with parry or without parry?
No parry.
No parry.
No parry.
I'll keep it for now, I guess.
Well, you can't cancel it later.
Well, could I ignore it with a
Resilience,
solve?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can auto do that.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, I'll take it. So.
Okay, so the first one goes down. As it does, she lets out a shriek and a scream of anger.
Okay.
And then the other one moves up and struck you, and you're going to take the hit.
Yes.
Okay, so then we go to Giselle, who's last for this round.
I can try and hit him, I guess.
Okay.
Either that or move behind the firewall.
Okay. You don't have any bonus if you're swinging, because you used it previously for your parry.
Even though
You didn't. He acted a second time.
he acted a second time.
Right. It doesn't reset until it's your action. And he just got clocked over the face and is
You do
standing
have
there
healing
dazed.
drops. That does not require skill to use.
Oh, what is that?
Healing potion.
Just
For
a
you?
healing.
Anyone. You have 2 healing potions. I have 2 healing potions.
Right.
That's. You have that. I know you're injured. I'm injured.
Right. It heals
I'm
between
not
5.
super injured though.
It heals between 5 and 50 hit points.
Did we modify that?
Yeah. It heals one D10 wounds.
Oh,
I
okay.
thought it did.
I heals toughness bonus.
Okay. Well, whatever your toughness bonus times 5. So probably about 20 hit points.
Can I pull him behind the firewall?
No.
No. Well, I guess he can't attack. He's stunned, right?
He can't. He's basically just standing there with his head ringing. He can't act. He can't protect himself. He can't do much, and anything that attacks him gets a bonus.
Alright, well, I guess then I will try and
It's my cauterize. It's a D10.
I'll try and attack you.
Okay, make your attack.
Oh, good. Nope.
Didn't roll good.
63.
Total.
Does that hit?
It's a big dude.
So,
It is a big dude.
no.
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 Okay. So yeah, I mean, functionally, she keeps hitting it. She just can't seem to penetrate through the dirt and grass and things like that to do anything significant. So we will stop here.